to the lung, kill the stress to the head. I see the things that they do way less than they say. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Okay, we're gonna jump right into this. I don't expect much people to be on. Let me just check through my headphones how the sound is, because I have no one here yet. There are 2 people here. I think the sound is good. If you choose to come into the chat room, let me know. You're like, wait a second, what time is it over there in Accra, Ghana? Well, if I look a little sleepy, I'm just waking up. And this is kind of late for me now, my new hours, because I'm getting up early with the sun. I have to implement that. Now, I'm not going to always come on this time of the morning, but I will be dropping in a lot unexpected, right? Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the LANCESCURV Show podcast, LANCESCURV podcast. Kudos to all those who came to the show the other night with Irritated Genie, my dear brother who has been basically banned from social media. And for those who missed the show, you missed a wonderful show, but I have to tell you that the attack that I was under after the show was really, really eye-opening beyond anything that I have experienced before in my entire cyber journey and internet life. Well, if you were on the show, you would notice that after a few minutes that there were sound issues. There were a couple issues as I came on. Before you realize the show was on, when I was in the back room, so to say, there were things that were switched around, right? And I found it strange. It's like coming home, nice day out, went to a restaurant with the family, and all the furniture in your house is rearranged. Like, wait a second, how come, who did this? Do you have a drunk uncle who decided to rearrange and come inside? Who else has access to this? Well, I'm the only one who has access to this, and my dear friend who lives on this side of the world, but I won't tell you what country he's in. And after I distributed everything, it was tough getting on the show because I was knocked off. My controls from this end was pulsating. Mute, mute, mute. I said, okay, they're doing that stuff again. Because remember, Irritated Genie is banned on most social media platforms, and the very mention of his name, that means you're a bad dude, right? But there's no fear in me having him on. Now, let me explain what happened. I didn't have it on YouTube, so don't look for the show on YouTube. I put it on multiple social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. You know, that's that crazy white boy channel where they shoot up people and live stream it. They can do that, but I can't talk a few things. And my own website, LANCESCURV.com. And when I say my own website, it's self-hosted. I have to explain these technicalities so you can understand how things go. It's self-hosted. It's like you having your own house as opposed to renting a room. Okay, you rent a room. There's several other roomers that are there. Giant game. Mwah. How are you? Wow. Are you? Well, I can't say are you waking up, you're going to bed because I'm 5 hours ahead of you. So it's actually on the East Coast, 12:34. But you rent a room. You have to share a refrigerator. You have to share a bathroom, a shower. Usually it's maybe 4, 5, 6 rooms and one bathroom. So when your stomach rumbles and you want to sit down for a while, somebody knocks on the door, you got to cut it short because you're sharing, right? Me on my website, I don't share with anybody. I don't have a shared hosting. I have dedicated hosting. But people thought, and they were asking me, well, wait a second, you have your own website and dedicated hosting. There should be no problem. The company I work through, they still have their community guidelines in terms of service. So they deemed it hate speech. When we were speaking, we mentioned nothing about hurting or KILLING and nothing at all like that. So why was it hate speech? We brought many facts. I didn't know that the president of Ukraine was in a video from 2006, was it?
doing S&M, dancing half naked and doing the homosexual thing like he really is. I didn't know that. Well, you know, the irritated genie, he pulled that up and played it. He didn't say anything as far as a lie or hate speech or anything. But you know, when we say it and they don't want certain things out, they're going to shut you down. That's why I kept it off of YouTube, because they did that before. And I'm not afraid to talk, but I'm playing smart. I'm not going to provoke YouTube to cut me off where I can meet our people after I have built up this channel over so many years. So it's like sharing a room, but I don't want to share a room anymore. I got my own dedicated hosting, which I have my own house. I can do what I want. I can have 4 or 5 bathrooms, take turns. And when I go in them, the kitchen, oh yeah, Coach Bettis, how are you? Yes, I can do whatever I want. But what people don't understand is that if I was to take a video file and put it on the hosting that I have, which is dedicated, and it's like owning the whole city, but you have one house there. It has so much weight to it because video files are huge. So if you have 200 or 300 people trying to watch this, oh, Yella, yes, my beautiful queen, how are you? If you have 200 people trying to watch that video file and it's on your hosting, the pull of that and the resources is going to slow your site down. So we put them on external hosting sites, right? That can pull the weight of it, and we stream on it, or we put a link where you can click on it, but it's really being drawn with the power from that external video hosting site. So YouTube, when you watch it on people's sites or put links, it's not on that site. Actually, it's a portal to go to their hosting, which is very, very, very powerful, right? So that being said, after I finished distributing to SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and a gazillion, I'm buffering now a little bit. Did you see that? Let me know if anything happens with the sound. I got my phone here ready to go to the phone with the click of a button, or the power goes out or whatever. So I got to be ready for that. But I saw that I was buffering a little bit. But something told me, go back, because I had some things downloading. I call it cooking. I'm cooking some stuff right now. I got the content, I'm cooking it up. So I'm cooking it up on the computer and I go to sleep. Those long downloads will take time, but by the time I wake up, they'll be ready to go to the next step. I have a process with everything that I do. Something said I was in the bed and I didn't get to bed till like 10 o'clock in the morning. But for irritated genie, I will stay up and I will do all the necessary. Yeah, buffered a little. I saw that. Let me know if it does it again. I may have to make some. I'm actually uploading the irritated genie video to Rumble. Rumble says they will not give any flying Fs what you put up, as long as it's not child pornography or some type of violence or whatever, which we know, you know. So someone kept telling me that I was tired, and I was like, I said, okay, let me get up. I put the computer on and I said, something said, go to your site. Yeah, that's right, cooking. Go to your site. I went to the site and I looked on the homepage, which I put the irritated genie video on, and on the actual post. I see this video talking about sailing. Some corny, you know, who am I to say it's corny, but it's not my video. This is not how I left it. It's like you go to the bathroom and come back and find all these Greek groceries, you know what I mean, in your kitchen. Like, I'm not into that, but who put that there? So I dug deep into the background on the back end of the site. I said, I'm removing this, but who put this there? And where is my irritated genie video? So I saw that the video was gone. Simply Deep, yes, 1985. How are you? So I went in the back end, and instead of the usual codes, the just numbers, dashes, all this stuff to make up the guts of it, what you don't see, I saw all these letters, a whole lot of them. I looked on the side widget bar of how I can upload and change certain things, you know, in the back end that I know so well. Yes. Oh, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I feel good. Just woke up a little while ago and just wanted to come on. I want to do a lot of these impromptu type shows. And right now, I'm going to focus on the journey as much, and I'll explain that later on. It's 5:40 here in Accra, Ghana, and I'm going to jump on things from early, and maybe turn in early later on. But I want to get as much sunlight because I've been real pale not getting sunlight. I'm big on that. I preach it, and I haven't been doing it, you know. So I couldn't make any sense of this, and I come to the conclusion that I have been hacked. So I checked on the actual hosting platform that I hosted. The Irritated Genie video was still there. I downloaded it. And so I said, okay, if anybody tries to take, you know, something violence for his back in the younger days, correct me if I'm wrong about that. Persuaded, I did a lot of wild things, not drugs or drinking. You know, I had a lot of girlfriends that were kind of okay with me having a lot of girlfriends, I'll put it that way. But being disrespectful, crime, things that's going to end up in jail, insulting people, forcing people to do something they don't want to do, stealing, all that stuff. Once I'm dead set on whatever I have to do, I'm going to do it. I'm very disciplined that way. That's one thing I will say about me. I can say I'm a great guy, and you say, oh, he's a piece of crap. I'm not going to say that. But one thing I will say, when I set my mind to something, the discipline that I have is going to be very rare. You know what I mean? I can even damn near convince my mind not to feel pain sometime. Right. No. I was not that guy where they say, you know what, stay away from him. He's crazy. You know what I mean? I always let people know where I stand, and I always stood by it. And, you know, I don't have a record. I don't, you know, I'm the best neighbor to live next door to, even though there are a lot of people who would probably hate me because of their own reasons. But yeah, I was always that stand-up guy, you know, from teenage years. But the girlfriends, you know, that was an issue. Okay. But back to the topic. I called my friend, who I can do most of the stuff on my site. 95% is basically him troubleshooting, but all the things artistic and the layout, the colors, and this and that. But when I have, in a good way, spicy or risque, and oh yeah, as long as it was under the umbrella of the female, you know, no, that's okay. It's okay. You family, you've been here for years. So we'll vibe. Anybody who's here, if it's some joker who says, you know, what do you think about the craters on the moon? And what? You know, but if you ask me how I am or whatever, I'm here to communicate. That's why I'm so close to the camera. I said, let's make this up close and personal, you know, bare bones, nothing to hide. Right. So he said, yeah, that's definitely an attack, but don't be afraid. The analogy that I would use with this, it was an attack, but it wasn't something that will ever be deadly, because this man's a genius, and I have been doing business with him probably like the last 8 or 9 years. So we have a great relationship, and I always say that, and it can be done. There are times when he does business on the internet, fixes sites, does things. He has abilities like a hacker, but he's not a hacker. And he can't get to getting paid. He has clients all over the world. So he can't use PayPal for some reason in the part of the world that he's in. So he has his clients send his money to me, and I send it to him. That's the kind of trust we have. And it's been going on for years, you know, so we earn that trust with each other. And the funny thing about it is we communicate on Skype, but I never talk to him on the phone. I've sent voice messages. It's just like he's so busy. He's not somebody, he's legit, and he's on the money. We haven't talked on the phone. We send messages through text on Skype, and I've never done a FaceTime or anything, but we have the utmost respect for each other's families. We know a lot about each other, and that's how it goes. And I really love him, you know, even though there's not that, see, because you can have people up on you. I love you, man. I love you, man. And they got daggers waiting for you. They got daggers waiting for you. Or they're thinking something completely different, and they don't have your best interest in hand. And sometimes they can't take it no more. Oh, this guy is just going on. He doesn't have any drama. He's doing this successfully on a smaller level. And I got to remove myself. Watch who's here and who's not here. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that I've decided to write a book. But I'm still here. And I'm not leaving anywhere. Right? But he corrected it quick, fast, in a hurry. You know it, Giant Game. You know it. But I want to have a little dignity in that where I don't use this as some, yeah, I'm going to tell you about this woman, man. You know, a lot of dirt out there. There's a lot of information out there on me. There's nothing I haven't told, but there's a lot of information on others that I won't reveal, but you see things coming a mile away. It's not even about the internet. I've lived life so long and I have radar. It's like Floyd Mayweather and Pernell Whitaker seeing a punch coming, like before it happens, you start moving out the way. Okay, this is what they're going to do. So I'm going to do this too. Here's a counteract. That's what I do. It's human nature. And I can read people. You know what I mean? So anyway, they're here watching too. You know, I know what the IPs and stuff that they've broken from behind the tree. They can't see me. I see you. But anyway, he said the analogy is like somebody threatening to come inside your house and do you harm. On the website, symbolically, I talk in riddles sometime, but they can't come in. They can't come in your yard, but they can stand outside and throw a stone. And that's all they can do. But they can't destroy your house. They can't come in your house and do you no harm. They can't come in on the website and do it any harm to make me lose almost 22 years. February will be 22 years I've been online, right? So I said, okay. And he says, trust me, brother, I'm telling you, and I got this. I said, okay, I'm not losing, I won't say faith, but losing the knowledge that you're good at what you do, but it's still kind of scary. You know what I mean? I was watching a clip of one of the recent King Kong movies and Godzilla, and they were fighting. And it wasn't Godzilla, it was some other monster. And there's a little white girl that King Kong was carrying around, and she moved to the side, and they were slamming each other. She was scared. That's the way I felt, knowing that, damn, they're going to try to take away all my work like that, but it's backed up though, right? And what I mean about not having any privacy in today's world, you don't. You don't. And maybe I might have to rehash a few things that most people don't know. And you all know because I tend to say things over and over. But we don't have any privacy anymore. Anybody, please, who is here, who thinks that we have privacy, raise your hand. You know, okay, how to respond to getting enticed by your significant other alone at an area other than your house in your younger years. This is in general. Wait, let me read this again. This is going to be longer than I thought, right? How to respond to getting enticed by your significant other alone. Okay, by your significant other alone at an area other than your house in your younger years. Most of my activity wasn't even in the bedroom. It was somebody's alleyway, backseat of a car, on the side, on the road, daring stuff. The dressing room at Macy's. Come on. That's the fun part of it, right? And how to respond by being enticed? Roll with it. As long as you don't get locked up for indecent exposure, you know what I mean? Thriller getting caught, that's what they call it. Anyway, yeah, there's barely any privacy. In your house, and they can't see you naked. And who knows, they may have something now where they can get past that. But there is no privacy. And let's go back. And I've said this before, 9/11, the World Trade Center attacks, right? We know that's an inside job. And they said that they're going to have to pass this bill, this Privacy Act or whatever, where you don't have privacy, where you can go in, the government can go in on your emails and check everything to find the boogeyman, Bin Laden. We need to be able to go in. And right after that, we had a boom in social media platforms. They were there, and I was on Black Planet big time back then. You had message boards and forums and different things. You had websites, but the social thing wasn't like it is today. So here we go. We have a MySpace. Other countries had different things rolled out. And Patriot Act, yes, I said Privacy Act, right? No privacy, yeah. So in the van in the freezing cold, oh yeah, Giant Game, that too. Remember that story, right? The cops rolled up and I had to stand out there with a little t-shirt. Put your hands up. And the shirt went up and everything was cold and embarrassing. And there was a club down the block and cars. Look at him. Oh my God. So I know about it. Yeah, fine. Roll with it. But let me finish up the story. We'll talk about that. Roll with it. I'm the wrong person to ask about restraining. I say have fun. Have a lot of fun. Make a lot of memories. So, you know, it was, now you made me lose my thought because I'm thinking on a whole different vein right now. But we have no privacy. Patriot Act, going into your email, going into everything that you have in cyberspace, which I don't think many people were as invested in that because these things were new. The way it looked back in the day, MySpace was a thing that adults, that's what the kids do. You had some musical bands and some businesses that, no, it's okay. Let me finish this story. We'll talk. And I'll be coming on live a whole lot more just like this, without the bells and whistles and just up close and personal like this, unless I really look tired from being tired. So now we have our computer. We have our computers at home. Computers have been popular, but they're getting more popular. They're coming down in price. And so people would say, if you can remember, many of you can, I got to hurry up and get home and check my email. Yeah, we have to go to our computer to check our email, go to our computers to check different sites. That was the way we talked before the smartphone came along, because we had cell phones, but it wasn't combined with the internet. So we had to rush home to check our email. And then once the smartphone came to be, and all of a sudden we had access to the internet on the smartphone, we can look at websites, we can look at eventually videos. YouTube came around in 2005. I remember that. And I paid it no mind for years. I'm like, YouTube, bunch of kids, birthday parties, different things. I looked at a few things. The YouTube universe was not what it is today. And they were wide open. You talk about hate speech, there's all kind of stuff that was on those servers. So it was like Reese's peanut butter cup. You know, I got my chocolate in your peanut butter, and you got your peanut butter in my chocolate, right? And a baby was born, the Reese's, pieces, the Reese's peanut butter cup. So with the internet combined with the cell phone, we really became, for some of us, addicted. For many of us, it was a convenience that was beyond, because I can check my stuff with my phone. I'm always on my phone. I'm not addicted to my phone. I'm not addicted to the internet. I'm the kind of guy, I'm old school. I'm used to writing with a pen, a pencil on a piece of paper, good penmanship, Oh yeah, you're right, Simply Deep. It is. And we've given it the power, okay? So now we have this thing and we're going other places and we feel good about it. Like, wow, my commute is not as bad at that time as long as you were in a bus over the ground. Now, like in New York City, you can be underground and they still got the internet there for you. So you're going to have a signal. And it got cheaper and cheaper and more affordable to get this, because a cell phone back in the 90s, early 90s, it was expensive to have one that was legit. I must admit, I knew some friends in New York that afforded me temporary cell phone service that was very inexpensive. And I'll leave it at that. We all know about those Zap phones. So we got into this, and all of a sudden now, back in the day, if we wanted to make a long distance phone call, we would have these calling cards that we would go, especially in the inner cities where you had the bodegas, you had the stores, call Mexico, buy this card. You'll get so many minutes of talk out of it. So you didn't have to hurry up and make that call after midnight and only talk for 5 minutes and tell everything real quick. And it's good to hear the voice, let me hear the baby sleep, wake him up, So it changed our world, right? But we had these calling cards that we would buy. And all of a sudden that business was smashed after a time, because when you move it up to these years, more recent, and I forgot what year it came out, and WhatsApp. I'm hearing about this WhatsApp. What is WhatsApp? Well, you get on there and the next person gets on there and you can call each other and it doesn't cost you anything. Bam! Red flag came up right away. How nice of them to give away a service where it just completely shut down the calling card business. Could you imagine if you were in that industry and making lots of money and you heard about this thing called WhatsApp? Could you imagine? From 1 week to the next, you were bankrupt. You had nothing. And WhatsApp ruled. And why? Nobody questioned it. Just like I was speaking earlier to someone, and I said the chickens that are out in the field and they're throwing out the grain and having them graze and getting healthy. And there's water over here. And the chickens are running around. The turkeys running around saying, man, our master, our owner, or our caretaker is really treating us nice. Look at this. Free food and just water. And I'm protected from the foxes and the other animals that want to eat us up. Wow, they're treating us so nice. Hope Rice. Did you finish that message I sent to you? You're on Facebook now, so you're not going to see everybody else but I'll put your message up there. Peace and love always. The only rice I F's with. So the chickens are happy. The chickens don't realize that they're being set up for the kill. They don't realize that they're being fed very well because they want them nice and plump and fat and juicy, because they're eventually going to end up on the table to be eaten. And that's us. That's who we are now. We're getting these things like WhatsApp, all of these technological amenities that make our life sweeter. But if you notice, many of us are forgetting to use our memory. Remember when you were a kid, and it depends on what your age is. The older, the better. Like I said, I'm so close to 60. If I move the wrong way, 60 is going to get pregnant next April, right? But the bottom line is that we're depending on these things that seem to help, but we're not using our mental muscles, and we don't have privacy anymore. We all know that chick in the hood. I ain't going to tell nobody my business. I don't want you to know my business. Don't be telling my business. Right? And oh yeah, now she's here. I'm looking like I see two Hope Rices, but I see the the YouTube avatar on there, right? Yeah, I don't want nobody to know my business. But yet and still, after a while, when she sees her girlfriends getting on Facebook and the guys that are hooking up with them with the nice cars and the money taking them out, they get on in there and put that one booty cheek up on the sink in the bathroom, duck lips, spread eagle, put the makeup on, all the dirty clothes behind them. But before they were saying they don't want nobody to know their business. Isn't that something? And so now we're getting caught up in watching each other. Reese, everybody's up. I'm like, well, for me, it's 5:57. So some of y'all are up pretty late, right? Y'all are ending your day and I'm getting ready to start mine. So the privacy is gone. We've been duped into the soap opera of our own lives. We can watch people's movements. You can have falling outs with people, but still hide behind and watch them. We become a world of voyeurs, wanting to watch everybody. We become, for some of us, people who want the attention. And I see you laughing, Ayala. Yeah. No, and see, for me, a lot of my life is out online. A lot of my life was out in the world even before I got online. I'm just that kind of guy. I don't tell like things that would hurt other people, but I have no shame that way. I don't volunteer stuff, but there's a lot of information on me out there. Things I don't want out there is not going to get out there. It's not. If you feel you have something on me, well, say it. It's probably because you know about it, because you knowing about it is nothing you discovered. It's something I told you that I don't mind later on if we have a phone. Oh, go ahead, tell it. Everybody knows I'm an old freak back in the day and he's doing all kind of crazy things. I have no problem with that. I'm proud to be a flaming heterosexual in this world today with all of these twisted people, confused people. I am not. Okay? So if there's any kids in the room, please, walk them out. I'm a man. I'm a heterosexual man. I like titties, booty, and panani. I like that. That's in my nature. I'm respectful to my sisters, but strip it down to the bare desires. That's what I'm all about as far as what I like behind closed doors. Okay? So under that vein, tell it. There's pictures out there floating around, all kind of stuff. I have no shame, especially in this world today as it is. So if that's a shock, it seems like to be, and this is off topic, but to be a straight man, we're in a minority. more than 51% of men, if nobody's looking, a lot of them will take some head from a dude. All right? Let's not get on that vibe. Let's keep it like this. We're going to do a show later on maybe on that before I sleep. We'll talk about that. And Simply Deep, I want you to be there. So I'm going to feel shamed for what I like. And that's natural. Life comes out of that. And it's a whole lot of fun. Nah, I'm not ashamed of that. Oh, you can't say that. You might insult the one who likes to play in dookie. If you play in a dookie, make sure, man, it's with a woman. If you like to go do that back there, make sure it's with a woman. Nothing a man and a woman can do consensual is bad. If you both choose to do it and you like it, you're not hurting yourself or risking your health, do it. Come on and do it. Do it. Do it till you're satisfied, whatever it is. That's what I'm trying to say. Look what Hope said. Look what shit chasers and nutbusters. Ain't no balls bouncing off this chin. But for the ladies who do, more power to you, it's a good thing. Right? You all know what I like to eat. And we ain't talking about chicken. All right. So after a little entertainment during these shows, right? Let me see what that we become so occupied that we don't exactly in the short grass. Right? So yeah, hot combination. You know that. TBP. That's the censored way of what I'm gonna say. Titties, booty, and panani. TBP. I was talking about TBE, Floyd Mayweather. TBP. We need to come out with the TBP t-shirt, right? And I'm going to start making more t-shirts, philosophical. Look, I just woke up. Philosophical sayings and different things. I have everything on the site. It's not a promise. I'm a break. I'm going to work on it slowly but surely. But it's all about LANCESCURV.com, LANCESCURV.com. We're going to pull the weight off of all these social media platforms. Will be here, but it's to come back to the things that you won't see out here. So anyway, we have the mixture of cell phone and the internet. And we've so far gone in it. Now here come these social media platforms, Facebook, the YouTube. But then eventually here come these apps, these hookup apps, gay hookup apps, straight hookup apps, transvestite, transsexual, midget, all kind of stuff that you can think up stuff. There's an availability of porn even more so. I'm not even speaking for the sexual aspects of it. And there's a brother, Gucci Gang. I'm going to talk about porn. He's been asking me for months, and I want to give my take on that. And I'll probably do that with the other stuff later on. But I got to zone out. I like these kind of shows because I'm not thinking about everything around me. I'm right up in the camera, and we're talking. It's me, you, and the mic, right? So the porn distracts us as men. We're wasting our sperm, our energy, our potency. That weakens us if there's not someone to receive that energy back with you. If you're with somebody and you indulge and you ejaculate constantly, but it's with somebody, it's a different thing. Jerking off is like playing handball and there's no wall. Jerking off is like going to the park and sitting down on the seesaw thinking you can go up and down just the way you do when somebody else is there. You got to have a partner. So it's a distraction now. You're getting the pleasure, but you don't have to go and deal being in a relationship. You don't have to be a man and get your life straight. Know how to budget. Know how to treat a woman. Know how to be the man that a woman would want. I'm talking about a real woman, not somebody that just reads you off a laundry list of what they want. But they know the characteristics that you need to have and what they bring to the table, what you bring to the table, and what you're going to create together. Not in this modern day way of thinking where, okay, I got mine, I don't need this. No. Coming together is not just a sexual thing. Because you know when you spell it the sexual way, you say C-U-M. You know, gentlemen and ladies, when you make those enticing text messages. Midnight Green, how are you? Yes, I'm glad you're here. You put the C-U-M. That means the good stuff. And when you say come over and C-O-M-E, that's that normal stuff, right? So we get so caught up in that we can bypass the responsibility of a relationship and get right into the pleasure so we can get into these hookups. You know, we can get, It's an addiction, and it throws off, and you get that rush in your mind from the pleasure, the dopamine rush. The dopamine rush. And then when you get with a woman, you can't perform because you're getting it raw all the time in your brain, and that's not as stimulating. I remember I was like about maybe 16 years old, and there's this girl like in her early 20s. You know, I got over like because I was well built, well spoken, and she invited me over. It was her folks' house, but they were on vacation. She's like 20, I think she was 22 and I was 16. And she sat on the couch, and she had these pretty legs, and the skirt kind of rolled up, and we knew what was going to happen later on, but she couldn't tell anybody because I was 16. And it was like, bing, yoing, 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 yoing. But if I was doing this other thing all the time, it wouldn't work like that. So it messes you up. So we're preoccupied with that. Some of us are preoccupied with Hollywood gossip. So much now is bombarding our brain that wasn't on the menu before. It wasn't on the menu before. Either you rushed home to watch White Folks General Hospital, or it's a different world. If you missed it, if you're in the days of the VCR, you can record it, or you had to get updated, or the girl call you on the phone, girlfriend, girl, General Hospital was good today. You missed it? So everything is right there in our brain, and it's like a windshield in front of us that the wipers don't work right, and we can't see what's in front of us. We're so caught up just what's right there. So it's like driving a vehicle where you can't see through the windshield. So the windshield is blacked out. It's just a recipe for disaster after a while. And so we don't know where the minds of people are with our no privacy having self. I had to check up on a few individuals that were acting shady around me. And I didn't do it in any sneaky way because it was in the best interest of my personal dealings. And I found out, whoa, and it's so easy, but I don't do that. I have discernment, but when I really had to check it out, I was very surprised. Goddess Letitia, how are you? How are you? So our minds are controlled. We have no privacy. We are low-jacked now, just like the device that's put on the vehicle, where if our vehicle is stolen, they can use the GPS to locate exactly where it is. But we don't understand when we hold these cell phones. It's the same thing that we're telling on ourselves. Do you know that there's a guy I know, and he was like, he didn't want an iPhone. I think you can do this with the Droid phones and iPhones now, but it was an exclusive thing to the iPhone where you can sign up for this service that will GPS whatever phone you want to track if it's an iPhone. And so that's why his fiance was trying to get him to get this phone. And he was dipping and doing the do, and he got busted, and he knew it. He says, I should have never. You know what I mean? She went and found where he was. Right to the door. Ding dong. Oh, shit. No privacy. So if we have this in our hands, what does the government have? The so-called powers that be, the ones they call the elite, those people, the choose, I say CHEWS, choose. See, the choose, they choose how we move. See, now we're being bombarded with sex. See that? Block user. I got it. That's so funny. As soon as Ayala said no privacy at all, I think she got it, maybe. I don't know. It says block user. Okay, block user. I don't know if it worked. It should. It's kind of moving kind of slow because I'm uploading something on my computer at this time. But if we have what we have, we feel so high and mighty. We feel like it's a designer handbag or some type of nice shoes imported. Yeah, I know you got it, Oyala. I didn't. I saw it. I was like, whoa. But look at that. When we start talking about sexual matters, this thing pops up. You got to watch things like that. It's always going to happen. So we're distracted. We feel empowered. These phones are an ego rush. I have the new iPhone 14. What is yours, the 13? Oh, that's old. You know what I mean? It's a status thing now. They've worked this thing into like being a status thing. Because you know, when you got that jacked up phone that you don't know where it came from, it's a no-name brand phone, like this one that I have right here. And when you're in the grocery store, by the checkout, or the supermarket, or in a department store, right? When you have the jacked up phone, it stays in your pocket. When you got the new phone, you sitting here like, oh, let me dig in my purse for the ladies and have this nice case. And you're looking, what kind of phone is it? That's the iPhone 14 or whatever's new at that particular time. Because you'll look at this video years from now, I'm like, what is he talking about the 14? The 14's old. It's the iPhone 19 right now. And so we have this attachment with status, pseudo status, perception. And so now we're worried more about perception than the actual thing. Like I've said, I've seen many guys out here and in America at the mall. Yes, that's right. The more they're able to be in your ass. That's right. They're in your ass so deep, you know, you might see it in the bowl if you push too hard. But the thing, like I said, we attach it to the pseudo status, the new car, the new this, the new that. We're so caught up in all these things that come at us new, we're forgetting that we're giving up our privacy. You know, it's like, at what point do you get off the merry-go-round? It's never going to end. And it makes us feel as though we're behind. As soon as you get something, the new thing came out. Seems like 3 months later. I just bought this brand new 3 months ago. And they're touting more amenities, more things to it. I'm proud to say right now, transportation in Accra, Ghana is so cheap. Cheap. We left our cars in America, Mrs. SCURV and I. She gave one to a family member and one to another one to just sell. The little hoop they used to drive, yeah. It's okay, we're gone. So cheap here. It's convenient if you live here after a while to have one, and I will, but it's not a priority right now by the way I live. You see, we have to look at how we live and see, what do I really need? Do I need this occasionally? Because when I get a vehicle, it's not going to get driven that much, maybe like twice a week. I'm going to go into the town, get everything I need, bring it home. I'll ride my bike a lot, I'll take walks a lot, but I'm not looking to every day. No. So do I need that? Do I need a huge SUV with, do I need a luxury SUV where maintenance is going to cost me? No, I'm trying to bring down my overhead and dependence and involvement in this system. So as much as we want these things, we're giving up our privacy because we have to give up so much information about ourselves. Our cars are low jacked, our phones are low jacked. They are now using, yes. Yeah. I got up early today, brother. So I'll be dropping bombs at unexpected times. Who knows what's going to happen today? Because I'm definitely going to keep my equipment with me. I got to make a little run out soon and come back, and I might do an early rooftop. I don't know. I'll see. I'm going to put it down today. We're going to flow with it, Yes, Sister Ambience. I'm going to say it like this. There's nothing to be hidden. Everything she said was transparent, but she always told me in our private conversations, because we would speak every day. And she told me, she says, listen, I'm giving you the number to my son and to my aunt. If you don't hear from me, please call after a few days. But she'll drop a message. She was throwing lots of audio and I was putting it up. And I'm keeping it transparent, okay? I don't know. But yesterday, I went deep into the WhatsApp because I forgot to write those numbers down. I spoke to the aunt. And she told me she's going to check for me, because it's not like, and the aunt lives in a different state, not like every day you're going to call your aunt unless you're really close like that. But she said, I haven't spoken to her in a few days either, but their rhythm is not that. But I told her, I said, listen, she told me this, and she knew of me, because Ambience was I almost said a real name. Ambience told her like this, and we get down and she saw some of the shows and she likes it. But I had to verify. When you're calling somebody on a sensitive level, you're like, listen, my name is Lance. I didn't say Ambience, I said her government name. We do these videos. Oh yeah, I know you. And I said, I just want to let you find out how she's doing, because it's strange that at least not a message every day. And there are others here that we talk every day. Everybody has their orbit around this platform. Of course, you are to be the center of your own universe in this life. But on the platform, like Oyala, we might have done something, but the schedule didn't permit. So maybe later on, maybe 5 days, 4 days, I'm here. I didn't know I was going to be doing this live stream right now. I think it's amazing. I got to get into that again. And I'll get back later on as to my approach, how I'm approaching things. So different right now. You're right. And I'm going to put this up so the world can see it after it's up on the replay. Goddess Letitia. Yeah. So she let me know that she's going to call tomorrow and see if everything's all right. Sometimes, yeah, that's fine. That's beautiful. I'll be here. Yeah, we can do it tomorrow. So, which is later on for me, right? But I told her, I said, listen, there's no pressure, because she is going through a lot in real life, okay? She tells me a lot more than she really says to just the platform, okay? That's obvious. And I'm not gonna, trust me, she's going through a lot with this foolishness, this tracking and all this stuff is real, and she proved it to me. So I let her know, I said, listen, if she needs a mental break from doing these uploads, because she's tortured, the harassment and everything. I said, it's okay. I just want to know that she's okay. So if you talk to her, find anything out, I don't have to know. You can text me, she's okay. Then I rest my heart and I'll let y'all know. So that particular video that I put up of her yesterday, even Hope had said, oh, I'm so glad she's back. Well, that was from a day or two before I last heard from her. So I put it up. A lot of folks thought she was back. No, that was when she said, Lance, it went for an hour. I'm going to add on a little more to that, because she had to end it abruptly, because she had someone, coming toward her righteously. So I was kind of wrangling with myself. Should I put it up? I need to find out if she's okay or whatever. I said, I'll put it up. This is another video, and it's relevant as to what's happening now. Past this point, I don't know. Let me look at my phone. Okay. Past this point, hopefully everything's okay and she can come on again. Or if she wants a little break, fine. Because really and truly, I think it was like 74 or 76 videos that she shared within a 2 or 3 month period. That's crazy. I loved it, and I love it. But it's not about videos. It's about her as a sister and being concerned and being there for her. Maybe she needs a break. I don't know. As soon as I find out that she's okay, I'm going to say that. If she tells me to give a message to everybody, I will do it the way that she tells me to do it, out of respect. I don't move in that kind of funny way. Like I just, well, she told me this and put all the business out. I would never do that. That's the thing. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. We all need a break sometime. I take a break for 6 hours and go back again. That's a break for me. It's not like days. Even when I had malaria, I was pissed. I'm laying there sick, near death's door. Looked up at the wall on the 5th day that I came back from Ghana the first time. And it was a big open dark space. And I was thinking man, I was getting a calm vibration. And I wasn't thinking I wanted to go through that thing. It's weird, but I didn't. And I'm back. But I made a video. I was so weak from the malaria for so long, recuperating, and to also get Lyme's disease. Yes, I have Lyme's disease, the fatigue thing. So this is why I take care of myself and feed myself good. I have a cheat meal every now and then. But I was so weak that in doing the show, here I am doing the show, and I had somebody else talking with me that was on the phone. I blocked myself out, and I had another microphone on the floor, just like this one here, right? On the floor with a pillow and the covers, and then I would lay down and keep talking. I was laying down, blah, 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 blah. blah, 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 blah. And then I jump up every 15 minutes and unblock myself and act like myself with energy, but I had none. Right? So back to what happened to me on the site. They hacked into the site, made it impossible for me to undo what they did, putting up this weird video, and I couldn't change things back. There's even something now that's come back on the actual page, that particular page where we have Brother Irritated Genie's video, and it looks like a YouTube blank video over the one I have put up from Facebook. I can't take it down. So that's almost like, see, we still messing with you anyway. They're throwing their stones. So I'll get that taken care of later on. But on Rumble, I'm uploading it now, and it seems like it's going to go through, and it's going to take a long time. Oh, it is 100%. Oh, it is 100%. Beautiful. Okay, they do it different here. Okay. Let me see. Upload. Am I uploading it now? Is it 100%? Rumble's a little different. Okay, I see what it is. Okay. I got to pick one. Excluding YouTube. Yeah, excluding YouTube. I got to do it that way. Sorry for the interruption, y'all. It looks like it's going to go through. But I don't want them to post it to YouTube, and I don't know about it, and I come back and don't have a YouTube channel. You see? Okay. Excluding YouTube. Okay. Submitting. Then I can put this and embed it on that page so it can be there forevermore. If they truly do not mess with you for putting up content like that, they pride themselves in pretty much letting everybody put up what they want. So we're going to test that. Video upload complete. Okay. I want to do this now, right? But I'll use the embed code. Just give me a second, y'all. Because I hate to think. I check my website constantly, and I work on it very hard. You know, and I want to have everything just right. So what I'm going to do is take this down on here and put the Rumble embed code so that now let's see if them Jews are going to mess with me now. Okay, here it is. I got to really be careful now because this is like the blood and guts, like I'm doing an open heart operation to place this code in the right place. See if it looks right. Bingo. Okay, it's just saying waiting to upload video to storage. So if you went there now, you're not going to see it, but it's going to be eventually up there. Let's hope it doesn't take like 2 days, but it's there. And now let me view the post. Okay, let me refresh this. I should have waited. Folks are going to be there like, what's going on with the video? Let's see. There's going to be a little delay, but it went through. It's there. If it takes too long, I'm going to put the Facebook version back up. So let me get back to the show. Okay. We're in a place right now where we feel as though there's some type of privacy. And at the same time, we're so distracted. We're really out of our mind, but we think we have it all together. Just like we should. Yeah, the artificial ass is hurt my last nerve. Yeah, sarcastic with them. That's right. I don't tolerate anything. I'm in the old man phase right now. Liable, certain things liable to come out my mouth and you like, oh my God, he said that. I take joy in it. I earned it. 6 decades on the planet. As a black man with the cross threads and walking through minefields, I'm the closest thing to Superman. Okay. Let's wait around and see what kind of thing is this here. Okay. Who's the N-word here? Lockie. Is that how we talk? Are you a white boy who wants to come on in and feel as though this is a way to get in on the black tribe? Let's just do the things. Hey, my N-word. Especially since I don't know you as regular. You got a jacked up name. Be better if you had a name like Rocky Lagless, but it's Locky Ragless. Ragless, like you're ragless. Damn, you can't even wear rags. Listen, I'm not getting a good vibe for you. You need to come back, make a new profile, and try it again. Let's go. Okay, we're blocked. We're out. Look, I don't need you that bad. If you're going to come in like that, I don't need you that bad. I'm not into the numbers. I don't care if I got 2 subscribers. It's just the way it is. I'm doing what I do anyway, right? So anyway, like we're out of our minds. As per the example just a little while ago, you come in. Do you do that in a black club walking? Hey, my niggas. The coons went, he don't mean it. But most of us be like, you don't have that privilege. See, they always want to push themselves up in a place where they can't go. Come on in the comments, that Nigerian short that I did about the Nigeria not having models that are not from Nigeria. White folks got crazy because they want to be able to push themselves up and see what the niggers are doing. It's their right. They feel it's their birthright. Simply D, well, there was somebody just in the chat room. I don't know if you saw them, right? But you said, is somebody trolling me? That's my life. Folks troll me all day long. On the email, text messages, different platforms. I can make the troll channel. You gotta be Midnight Green, trust me. Living this life and coming through this twisted world with this weird system, they always want to see what we're up to. Listen, white folks, you can't see everything. We talk private, even though the government may tap into that. See, we have a spiritual way of talking to each other that no technology that you have can decipher. You think not? Go to a black neighborhood on an early Saturday morning and stand to the side and watch that black mother discipline her child with just a look. There's nothing you can do to get between that. We got that already. It's just a matter of us discovering that again. And it's within. And that's the point. They don't want us. There's the vast universe out there, which is wonderful in a balanced world. But we're so caught up in the new phone, the new dress, the new bag, the new style, the new car, the new tattoo, the new this, the new that, plastic surgery, getting a butt lift. If I invest money in something like that, where I spend that much money, I'd like to see it. A butt lift behind you, you can't see? It's not in proportion with your legs. I can spot them a mile away. I know physique. I know a woman's body too. I know the nerve endings on them very well, and can be able to create a symphony of sensations sent to your brain that will blow your mind. But I know when I see something, because I've been dealing for so long. And if you're going after one for just that, brothers, check yourself. Even if she's drop dead gorgeous in your book, man, I ain't never seen nothing like that. That kind of guy, really, check him out. The next day, he's going to say the same thing. Man, I ain't never seen a woman with no ass like that. Wait a second. Did you say that yesterday? And the day before? And the day before? So what does that tell you? There's going to be physiques and booties and shapes that will bedazzle you for the rest of your life. It's got to be about the other stuff first. Because when all that other stuff fades, what are you left with? To look to chase after the next one. For what? For what? You don't know what kind of person this is. You don't know if she's running around with different people or going to home deliver, DoorDash you a STD. Right? So we got to get up off of that. But there are ways of dealing with that righteously. What do you mean, SCURV? You can show love to all the women you want in a righteous way, in a respectful way. And you can let them know, listen, you got a heck of a body. Innocently. It's not like you're not going to see it. You'd be lying to yourself and she know you lying. I don't see that. No, I just see a character. No, I see that beautiful ass you have. I see them thick thighs you got. But if we're going to build something good, let it be about something else. Because you know what? As a man, I ain't always going to be all the time. I don't care how much Viagra you take after a while, and you should be taking that no way. So if it's based on that, there's always that next yard boy next door toiling in the yard with the muscles, and he whips out, takes a piss, and you're like, oh. So if you into that, he'll be up in your bed when you gone, brother. So it's got to be based on that. But then when you close those doors with the person you're with, it's on and popping. That way you don't get in trouble, right? But anyway, we need to center ourselves more. We shouldn't be ashamed to say that we are the center of our universe. Hope. For real. Well, that goes back to what I say with these guys. And they think that I'm kissing women's behinds. It's a beautiful thing. Why not? What's wrong with that? Right? But you know what I'm saying? If you want a fantasy, you got to be a fantasy. If you want that perfect body, and you shouldn't be just focused on that, you better bring an A-game body. I don't have that no more. I'm okay for the way I look, but I don't look the way I used to. Right? And you know, every 3 or 4 months, I got to bring up the old funky picture because we didn't have Facebook back in the day. So I'll bring it up. It might block out my face. But I don't look like that no more. But I remember the day when I had muscles all up my leg. They didn't even catch me flexing right. I didn't bring into the pose right. I was supposed to bring my arms up higher and then flex. I was just standing there. I was on stage, so they didn't know. They were just snapping pictures. And they put that in the magazine. And that was back in the magazine. It came out in 83. That was an 82 contest. Right? So I can't complain. And look at this fuzzy picture. Man, I had a hell of an afro. I couldn't catch the barber in time. But my gut was cobblestone, y'all. No steroids. I'm not living in the past. I'm just showing you that I've been there, done that. And I'm comfortable being the age that I am. So I'm not hung up on these things. I'm like that old dude look up on the man today. When I was a young boy your age, I was kicking behind so and so and so. Better than talking about it, because you got a lot of old dudes that did everything when they were young. Man, I did that. I used to lift weights. I was a heavyweight champ of my state. Look, come on, man, you lying. At least I got 2 little funky receipts that I can show, right? So it is what it is. You know, I know what it's like to walk down the street and traffic stop and girls run up on you and all this stuff. All that stuff. I would get dudes in the present day who would get mad. Oh, I knocked off my little thingy up top. Let me put it back on, just so people can know where to go when they want to find everything. Where is it at now? Here it goes. Bing. There it is. Oh, did I put the big one up before? Yeah, that one's better. I got so much head up there, you know, I can afford to lose some, right? Lose some space. Yeah, but we can't be ashamed or feel guilty. And I say feel guilty because when we're focused on a goal, whether those around us know or not what the goal is, if we remain focused on it, they have a sense that we're doing something. What's up with you, girl? You didn't come around last week. And the last time before that, you seem to have something on your mind. You all right? Yeah, I'm all right. You know, just doing some extra things. What you doing, girl? Don't you tell them what you're doing. If you're not really, 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 and even then, hold back. You know who your inner circle is. Sometimes it's not even a circle. It could be just one part. But you incubate what you're doing and you focus on your goal. But you have to be self-centered righteously. See, we take that term, oh, you so self-centered, you so selfish. Oh, my life force is a giveaway to everybody? I'm just supposed to hand everything out? You got to be careful. And I know I'm supposed to be talking about privacy, but I'm going to take the scenic route and come back to it. But because of this, we're wide open. People make us feel guilty. Family members make us feel guilty. If you have a righteous proximity to your family members or actually DNA sharers, you are supposed to do for them. But if they severely disrespect you, cuss you out, violate you, they can drop dead. Me and Mrs. SCURV were talking about that earlier. And she not only believes in it, she knows in it. Just because you came through the same portal doesn't mean you have the same spiritual ascension. And I don't know what the hell's trying to get in my eye, but I don't want to rub it in there, like little bugs or something, right? This is Africa. They got little tiny bugs. You rub me eye, eyes swell up. You know what I mean? They say, look at your eye, my brother. It looks like a swollen vagina. I was like, oh my God, you know, I don't want that. You know what I mean? I love that stuff, but I don't want that, like my eye looking at it, looking like it. But family, fake friends, real friends who you don't know sometimes, when you have a soul connection with someone, it's a thing where it's a knowing. When it's a fake thing, you don't feel certain things. Go with your gut. If you have lived over so many decades, and it doesn't mean you're wise because of the time spent, but you have a sense. It's like right now, I know what it is that I have to do. It's a certain rhythm. It's like a boxing match. It's not a matter of you standing over there and just hitting somebody. You have connected with them. See, my cousin, who was a Metro North police officer, who he had his own issues in life at that particular time. I won't go into detail, but he was heavy into the martial arts. And he did some exercises that he taught me about feeling your opponent even before they do a move on you. And what we would do is touch our fingertips and keep them touched together. And we're standing in front of each other in a fighting stance, but we're moving our hands. And if he was to try to hit me, not hit me because our hands are open, but touch me, I should feel this with our fingertips touching. So after a while, maybe a couple of months, we would do the same exercise, but we'd stand back a foot away from each other. And then we would still have our hands in front of each other. So we were still connected, but it was more spiritual, and using those abilities that we have beyond the physical to sense what your opponent is going to do. So when people think they're going to marginalize me, or I already know you're going to do it, and you're going to get the same response from me, and you're going to say, how did he know? Do you realize how much time I spend to myself in meditation? And I wouldn't even call it meditation. I call it being in the zone. Like right now, the sun should be up. Yes, it is. Full force. It's 6:38. I'm going out into the world and I'm going to be in the zone. I'm going to have my cameras with me. I have a few places I have to go to, but I'm going to talk. I'm going to walk most of it. I'm going to play music in my ear and in my head. I might not even use my phone for it. I might even just in my head zone out to that place that I've known ever since I was in single digit ages. I've gotten away from that sometimes in the last few years, but I'm on with that now. I know your next move. I know when you're going to try something. I know when you're fake. I will carry a fake person for months and watch them, knowing what they're going to do and what they're going to try, and whip them to the punch. And they're sitting here. How did he do that? You can't deny these abilities that you have, thinking that I can't think so much of myself. The creator, some call him the most high, whatever you want to call him. And they say him is a her. Maybe it's not no tranny shit, right? Right? But it's that one energy. I lean toward calling it the mother. because we look down on our female energy. I'm a man, but I have female energy as part of me. No, I'm not saying I'm some dude who confused. No. If you're deep enough, you'll understand. But my role as a man will always be that. So, with that being said, we've got to stay in that. Let me put this comment up because Yapo is always saying something good. I've been researching quantum mechanics and the rules of entanglement. It is mind-blowing. One particle on this planet can be directly connected with another that is light years from here and affected. You said it, brother. That's where I was going, but I didn't know how to say it like that. I probably would have took 2 hours to say that. I got to read that again. I've been researching quantum mechanics and the rules of entanglement. It is mind-blowing. One particle on this planet can be directly connected with another that is light years from here and affected. Brother Holla transitioned last week. I talked to him every day since. His energy's still there. There's not hocus pocus stuff. And there are many people who are connected to him. My mother, my father, those are my ancestors now, direct from the DNA, a special spiritual bond. I am them and they are me. So we look at a grave site and look at the dirt and the coffin that you spent money on and think that's it. And just like me standing in front of my cousin and learning the energy, knowing when he's going to throw a jab, knowing he's going to come and adjust my footwork according to what I see him doing. If I can do this on a physical level, we are all able to do this on a spiritual level, to know what energies are around us. So in a world where we have no privacy, to bring it back to that, yes, we do still have that in here and in here. In here and in here. All I say, for those who are going toward a goal, stagger your movements. Don't be so predictable. Be predictable in the fact that you're unpredictable. Let people see you. If you drive, sometimes you want to mess with them. You wear a uniform to your job, but you got the day off. Neighbors are out. You know you're going to be out all day. Throw on your work uniform and leave. Get a few blocks away and change back into your regular clothes. Put it in your mind that you're going to work that day. But I didn't know you worked today. Throw them off. I would take pictures on my bus route on the layovers when the traffic is heavy in certain areas. And sometimes on the day off, I'd put that picture all up. Man, the traffic is killing me today. I can't wait to go home. And I was already home. I cut all the yard lights out, all the lights out, and in my little room, I'm doing my little thing. Somebody might call me. Lance, man, I know you at work. I'm surprised I got you. It's like, yeah, I'm going to be off soon. Yeah, because I was going to swing by. I'm like, I'm so glad I put that out there. I don't want to see this guy today. And we have to make sure that we keep certain energies away from us. And now more so than ever before, because the consequences of dealing with these energies and these particles that are part of, you're so right, Oyala, right? See, people, whatever, it's just like with the whole sexual STD thing. When you sleep with one person who's sleeping around, you're sleeping around with all of those people. It's not about the risk of a disease, but the particles they carry that they're connected to, that you're now going to be connected to, that they would call a soul tie. They say if you kiss somebody and years go by, you're connected in a way where they can physically tell. The physical. So what about the spiritual? Now what about the mental, when we're on our damn phones all day, letting them feed things into our algorithms, controlling and stimulating us to focus on the things that they want us to focus on? How about that? We doing this. Our thumbs have never been is muscular. Damn, that scar looked big on the camera. And the other one too. See? That's DNA proof that I put my fist up against somebody's mouth. I'm not proud of that. But it was funny situations. They mess with me. You mess with me, you know. I don't bother nobody. I'm a lover, not a fighter. But I am a fighter. I ain't gonna. But the things we're connected to and how they do us mentally, the thoughts that we are thinking, are they organic? Are they the things that we wanted to think? Our minds can be so tied up sometimes. I'm going to admit this too. This was several years ago, 8, 9 years ago. I was so caught up in the online stuff that I had a 2-week vacation from the job. And I didn't even go out in my own backyard. Did not once. And I love that backyard. You all remember the videos and everything. Sister Hope, you've been to my house in Orlando. And I would stay in that little studio room and focus on my work. Didn't have no red, yellow stripes, nothing. I was so caught up mentally. And I felt funny when the 2 weeks went by so fast. It's time to go back to work. What did I do? Nothing. I did work online. Oop, I hit my mouse. I'm glad I didn't knock the show out. You know, let me see. Brother Apple. No one ever said as they breathed their last, I wish I worked more overtime, or I wish I treated more people like crap, or I wish I'd use more people to get more money. Guaranteed. No one. Exactly. 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 Yes, hope you remember. That's Mr. SCURV's work. I can't take credit for that. But I damn sure enjoyed it. And when you come to Ghana, you're going to see it much more bigger. And y'all just don't know. Unveiling time soon. Let me put this app advertisement on the bottom. If you don't have the LANCESCURV app, please download it. It's not bootleg. It's legit. It's been around for 9 years. 9 years. It keeps you directly connected. I've got thousands of downloads on it. I'm very proud of that. You know, it doesn't mess up your phone or nothing like that. My phone is jumping off. A lot of comments and stuff. A lot of activity has been on the YouTube channel recently. You know, still paranoid. I ain't gonna get caught up in it. But we often have other people that are toxic to us as the center of our universe. And we serve them, we deal with them, we make their issues our issues, and we find ourselves drained. And sometimes we're in imbalanced relationships like this for many years, and you break up and you're like, what did I do for myself? Anybody who is really into you and what you bring to them in their life, you should be just as concerned. They should be just as concerned for you and looking to add to you, and for you or for them to be a plus to you. See? That's the thing. Oh yeah, always. But you know, Simply Deep, you give her the best, you know, as you said, okay, what I mentioned earlier, if she does all that to you, give her your best performance in those situations. Yeah, sexual and beyond. Because these days in relationships, and we're way off topic, but many people are like leaning back, not wanting to lean their weight into the relationship and commit because this might happen or that might happen. But unless you commit, you're not going to get the full thing. And in the best way, if the person is going to hurt you, you say you don't want to feel stupid. Well, you know, we just started dating, but I don't want to really give my all because, you know, they might break my heart. Let them break your heart. You have to be strong to get into something. If you see red flags, of course, deal with them and talk with them on that. But don't be afraid to get your heart broken because it can repair stronger, not in a venomous way, but in a wise way. And the best, I'll say it this way, pre-revenge on somebody in a relationship that's looking to hurt you is to treat them sweet in everything you do. That's the best revenge. That you're not thinking of it as revenge. You're giving of yourself. I'm not saying drain your bank account. We're the fools sitting here. Yeah, we broke up and ain't nobody else going to give me $25,000. Like, no. They got to earn the credit, just like when you go to the bank for a loan. Right? Let me see what Brother Yapo's saying here. True story. I had a job. I believe I hated so much that I had a week off and went back early because I kept dreading going back so much. I figured that I might as well have just been here. Those are some that's rough. You go into the job and you don't have to go. That's rough. Just to keep the stinger going back. Matthew White, how are you? Welcome on in the show. I'm not going to be on so much longer, but I wanted to wrap. You know what I mean? I say I give a little hour because it's bright in the morning. I'm going to jump on and do some things, which means some good content and some other things. Right here in the chat when I asked it before, and as I talk, tell me the kind of content that you want me to do. Like talk shows where you have people call in or join in, more stuff out in the street showing you Ghana, which I'm going to do anyway. One-on-one stuff like this where I'm just talking on a particular topic and you can give me topics. Not that I know everything. Of course, the original stuff as far as interviews are concerned. And if anybody here knows anyone that is interesting that you want to have them come on and share what they want to share. They don't have to share their life story and tell everything. If they want to tell everything, they can tell everything. I want to keep it interesting. If you want to call up and talk with me, you know, or even record something on WhatsApp and shoot it to me, I'll put it up. As long as it's something, you know, that's edifying, and it could be gritty because I don't censor anybody, but you know what I mean. The promotion of a business, sure. You know what I mean? For those total strangers that are, you know, oh, Lance, do you have Caucasians that advertise on your channel? Well, I don't lean toward that, but what's the going rate? $10,000. I'm going to get y'all. Your parasites want to do business with me? I'm going to get y'all. You don't know what I'm doing. But let me know the type of stuff. If you listen to this video after, you can put it in the comment section. And that's constant. If you see old shows, you say, man, you did this show, do more like that. Because I want to shrink wrap it and tailor make it according to what the real, you know, hardcore, you know, SCURV show family, what they like, you know, instead of reaching. I'm not reaching no more, right? And to go back like a little verbal commercial, what I'm doing now with the site, I've never been one to, and again, I want to say, Hope Rice, I cried when I heard your message that you sent to me. Tears of happiness to be acknowledged as you did, you know, that was a private message, but I was sitting here, I'm shedding tears. I'm shedding tears. Thank you. It means a lot to me. Because I'm an old dinosaur out here, and I don't come out here looking for attention. I don't come out here looking for acknowledgement, because that ain't going to happen the way I talk in this white man's world or Jewish-controlled world. But to have one of your own kind of know what you're about, really and truly, it means a lot. You know, collective trauma. Let me put this up here. Brother Yapo. LANCESCURV, I'm very interested in the subject of collective trauma. What happens to us as a collective when we see injustices done to individuals amongst our people? My wife and I chopped that up. Ooh, good topic. You want to come on? Both of you, me talk about it, whichever way. And these topics we talk about, it doesn't have to be where we do one show and that's it. It could be something that we visit every week or every other week or whatever. Because every time you do a show, and you put it down, you always say, oh man, there's one point that I missed that I wanted to say. So I'm open. We can revisit stuff. You know, I'm redundant sometimes because there's new people here. I have to show and share how I think, you know, so we can get to know each other better, right? So, like I said, we have to not be afraid of that word selfish, because that word is used against us to keep us from the upkeep of ourselves, from getting to where we have to go. And there's a period where we have to incubate on different levels, not just one time, but constantly. And we can't always give to the outside world like we'd like to. Some people just don't give a damn, and that's okay too. Those are the people that never get the drama that you get when you're a giving, loving person. When you're a person who lets everybody on in, and sure, you can do this and do that. And after a while, folks want to run your life. Oh, there's great advice. And I ask advice constantly. I have a great team on different levels that even have nothing to do with YouTube. There are people who don't even watch my videos. They know, say, Lance, I'm real busy doing this. I love you. I saw one last year for 5 minutes. You're doing a good job, but I can talk to you about advising you on this particular topic. That's okay. So we need people outside of our normal walk who may be into something different, but the principles that they have learned and internalized and used is transferable to us. So that's why we can't be so incestuous in our circles that if you don't hang out in this particular corner, if you don't go to this particular church, we can't hang out. Like I said, I was talking to a teenage white girl from Wisconsin, and we were talking about certain principles in artwork. Again, I say there will be some Caucasians who I will bring on the show that have valuable information that we can use. I'm not promoting what they do. They got all the whole world to do that. But if we can use it, and they're willing to talk, fine. If it's something usable in this world that makes us sharper to navigate in the system that they rule over so well. So they would be looked at as turncoats or traitors. I'll talk to a white traitor. But remember, they might go back and be a traitor on me, so I'm not going to feel like, oh, I'm in with this person, but you bring me this information. You prove to me this information is proper, right? You know, what do you see? I think that's why the oppressor does it and televises, because they know it traumatizes our people at large, even if it's people we'll never know or would never have known. And we connect those things with the trauma that has been real to us in our own personal experiences. So that's a reminder of what happens or could happen. Mental buck breaking, right? So it keeps us there. It reminds us. So there's a constant fear that eats at us, mind, body, and soul, our health. And I'm going to bring it up and do a show on it. I had someone send something to me about the 7 different ways of rest. And we think that physical sleep is the only way, but it's an active thing. Sometimes we need to back off from the activity that we do constantly. There are people that we need to back away from. Seeing the world in one little narrow way, that we go to work the same way. We come back the same way. We go to the same market. We go to the same places if we do go. If you were to take a magic marker and hold up a map of your city and draw a line of where you go every day, and overlap it. If you go off, like the next day, use another color of ink. I drove down the street. So you'll see that your core movements, even if it's a long distance, it might be to drive into the next town to go to the mall, and that's what you do and come back all the time. You're not seeing the 3-dimensional view on life. It's still very narrow, because there's a thing about spontaneity, being a little more adventurous. Those are the flavors and the sweetness of life. When I came out here to Ghana, and I fell in love with it immediately, but I've been researching it for years, just like I've been researching other countries. And I'll tell you this ain't the only country I'm gonna live in the motherland. I said it here first. November 17th, 2022. 6:59 for me in my time zone. That's how you manifest things. You make it normal. It's no shock. Everybody else be shocked. I already thought this already. I got my drawing pad right here. We're going to put in some time later on. Right there. Bristol board, y'all. You know about that, Yapo. It's not going to show because of the green screen. That's the only kind of pad that I use. The paper's so smooth. Look at that. So nice and smooth that I don't even touch the paper when I'm drawing. I wash my hands. I put something here between my hand and the paper that I'm drawing. I don't play. I'm a detail person. But the way we move in this life, how are good things going to come to us if we stay in one narrow-minded way? Not even just the physical traveling around, but how we think, the same thoughts, same thoughts, same thoughts, same thoughts. Sometimes we have to just go in and say, you know what? I'm revamping this because I crave something higher. What is it that I want out of this? What will this do for me to make me better and think clearer? The internet has messed us up. It's given us so much, but it's taken away a whole lot. Our minds have been arrested. All the while, our minds are frozen and the privacy is gone. I guarantee you, there's not much that the powers that be don't know about you. Very little that they may not know. Is this to make you afraid? No, let them know. I don't care. You want to see my ass? You saw it already. You want to see what I got between the legs? You saw it already. People saw it already before the internet was around in my life. I got no shame that way. I don't care. See, they're shaming you or they're threatening you by what they know over you. You've got to let that go. Yeah, so what? If you filed bankruptcy years ago, you filed bankruptcy. You're out of it now, right? So what? If you have a child with a man and he don't want to be bothered, there's no shame in that. That's on him. You can't walk with that. Girl, where your husband at? These old venomous, old ass church ladies that got more skeletons in their closet. They see you young and pretty and starting out, and something may have happened in your life where it may not be a pristine situation that you wanted, and here they come trying to beat you down for it. Some black people, let's just call it like it is. Some black people are damn evil. Damn evil. Sitting up in church and looking to put somebody down. I don't look to put anybody down. When you look to put me down, I'm going to have your head messed up because I'm going to read you like a cheap novel. I'm the mastermind games. I say it, daring you. Come with it. Because I have something to do to execute, and your mind games ain't going to get in my way. I am in control of my mind. I am a creator, a builder. I'm a thought influencer and producer. I'm going to sit back and because NBC and MSNBC and CNN and Fox and BBC and all this stuff, no, you're a thought producer. You have your yard and you think what you want to bring into existence and you make it happen. You have your life and you think what you want to bring into existence, like I've already carved out how my day is going to feel. I don't know exactly what's going to happen in it, but that's the beauty of it in anticipation, like watching a movie and you're like, what's going to happen next? And yes, Sister Hope, I don't mind when you tell me like the whole plot of a movie because I'll enjoy it the same way. And I want you to do a review on that and send it to me. And that part of it, I was like, man, this is excellent to put up. But go in on that movie, right? If you want, when you have time, and do a nice long one on what you saw. You see? So that's how we're going to do. Let me see here. Brother Yappa, we got to get you on. Lance, when I see your talent, so people coming on mine, I truly feel like it's nothing special. That's just us. You're right about that, right? That's how we are naturally when we know who we are. Our people are awesome. Beautiful thing. I just want more of our people to see how awesome we are and not feel as though we need the validation of the oppressor to be up under his umbrella and in his system to be validated for our talents. No white man and no white system is going to claim any part of what I do. Yes, I use their programs to do what it is that I do, right? I use their computers, their tools, whatever. But from single digit ages below the age of 5, I came out the womb drawing a little more advanced in my age. By the time I was 7, it's like, how's he doing that? This stuff I'm doing here is right on par with what I was doing back in the 70s. Because I know, and brother, you know, and this is why you have to know. Don't let anybody stop you. You see, there used to be people around me not too long ago that you don't see anymore on this channel. And I realized they actually hated me for my abilities that were innate and that were natural. And they began to try to season people against you because they don't want others to see what you have inside. And once I figured it out, I understood this person is very insecure. They put up a imagery of, I know who I am and I'm strong and I'm a leader, but you're insecure. I want to see people grow. Come onto the platform and show, you know, brother, you guys, you not only have skills, but you pop things out with rapid fire succession. Boom, 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 boom. They're all knockout blows and you put them out there. I'm kind of spread out, so I take my time. And plus, you know what? There's other things I'm doing. No excuse. I cannot wait very soon until that time is there like that, which we're on the cusp of it. But you're a great inspiration. Trust me. And so there's a love for you because we are in the same areas. But if we were in different areas, it would still be that. And that inspires me. Not on a competitive level, but wow, we got that energy. Just like when me and my cousin did the finger exercise to feel each other's energy to see what punch they might throw. So we're not in opposition. We're on the same side facing the world. And it's a beautiful thing not to be alone fighting. Not I mean actual fighting, but the creative juices. Because they can ban a video with me and Irritated Genie, but if I do a visual, if I do a drawing, how are they gonna ban that? Something you look at. And it's a click, right click, or what, and people spread it, how are they gonna stop that? It still gets to the mind. This is why they don't want the creative people of the world to thrive, because most revolutionaries, right? Real revolutionaries have an extreme creative side to think out of the box. So they want to nip that part out so you can be just living a cookie cutter existence, obeying what they say to be reality. No, I want to go out on my own. I want to know what it's like. I've always had that spirit to go out there and do my own thing. I've had jobs, yes. And you say, this is guaranteed money if I stay on this job, but that's just a stepping stone, because the real deal is what I invest in myself. And know that. And know that you can fire a job. I fired the bus company when I knew I was coming to Ghana. I did it just like they do me. It's been very nice. We've had lots of nice experiences, but it's time to let you go. I hope you don't take this personal. And walked off in victory. We got to set ourselves up, and we not only say the belief that we have to know, but this world has beaten us down so much on a psychological level. So much. In more ways than we can imagine. They know our hangups, our idiosyncrasies, the places we've been, that collective trauma, like you said, brother, is so true. So they shoot out these things. Have our sisters only thinking the only thing they have to offer this world is their body, and it's so much more. The body's beautiful, yes. It's for that person you choose to commit to, yes, I understand that. And yeah, we make mistakes, misjudgments. Get these people and these things out of your mind. You want to test yourself and you don't know? Call up the people you have to call up for the day. Take a day off. Call them up and tell them, I'm not going to be on the phone today. I'm not answering no calls. Only if it's an emergency. Keep ringing it. I'll know it's an emergency. Or text 911. I'll look at it. Granted, you have children, you have elderly people in your family. But other than that, put it down. Don't pick it up to go online. Don't go on your computer. Well, we did say the phone, but no, none of that. And be still and feel them urges. I got to get my phone. I got to check this, check that. Right now for me, and I'm going to say it, I started to say it, my creative journey is about what I do. If I don't want to do a show on a certain day and do another type of content, I'll do it. I'm not going to be pulled into, at this point, there's a person who has done so much online that this is some kind of race. And I never thought that way. But they want to try to get you that way. So I'm breaking away from that and actually will do more letting it come from the heart, like this conversation. It's 1 hour and 39 minutes. It's now 7:09. I was up from 3 o'clock this morning, laying in the bed, and then I got up right before I did the show, showered and everything. It's a beautiful thing to put this time in, and so many other people are sleeping. I mean, we're in different time zones, so I understand that. But you be the captain of your own ship. You be the president of your own world. We're talking about voting and voting. Oh, he'll do better. No, you'll do better. The president ain't cutting your grass. The president ain't feeding you. You're hungry. He ain't feeding you. Take back your power and know that you're the one that will navigate yourself into the positions that are favorable for your life. And it can happen instantly if we get out of this thing where we're mentally enslaved. And we know they made the system to keep us enslaved. But you got more power to burn through those chains if you just push yourself away from those delicious, tempting amenities that they always use to keep us financially strapped. Do your own thing. When you go to the shoe shop to go get shoes, if you wear size 8, you don't say, well, let me get size 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to get all these shoes. No. Get the shoe that fits your foot. Stop following behind all these people and the things they suggest. You go on a website to order something. Now, all the other websites you go to that have nothing to do with their website, all the products that were similar pop up. That's on purpose. They follow you. They know your rhythms. They know what you like. They track that. The cookies. Cookies. Do you accept all cookies? That's why you have to clear your cache on your computer because it gets so clogged up. Well, it does the same thing. Clear your mental cache, your mental filter, so you can think for yourself. There's all this sunlight outside. I'm like, man, I can't wait to get out there. I'm going to go out as soon as I get off. I'll put some pants on, too much information. And I'm going. I hope this camera don't fall down. I have to smack it out the way, right? I love the connections. I have met Sister Oyala, Sister Beatrice, Sister Angela through your platform, and I have no problem listening to sisters who speak the truth and wisdom. That's the thing. I'm going to tell you this. As masculine as we can be, we are men. But we have to acknowledge the female energy in our sisters and the part of us that is connected to that. Because chances are our sisters are not going to have, once they've ascended to a certain level of awareness, they're not going to have that ego. See, Brother Yapo, you don't have that ego like that where, it's all about me. And you're very down to earth, but you're grounded and you know who you are. And if you didn't, you wouldn't be able to create the things and the graphics and the books and the videos, and the artwork, all that stuff that you do. I love it. You are my brother. More so than a lot of guys who say that, and they're not. Not that you have to do the same thing I do, but you do. In your way, and do it my way. Man, if you were my next door neighbor, you'd have your privacy. It wouldn't be all up in your business. But when the time comes to say, hey, let's go on out by the water, or go out by the backyard, we're gonna create. We have some creative time. That'd be lovely. We can still do that through the internet, and my spirit is connected to you that way. But take back your thinking and understand that the things that we say and things that can come back to bite us in their system, but if it's truth, it really can't. You'll be protected. People scared to talk on their jobs now, scared to say things on social media. I don't want to say that because I'm scared. So what? What if you lost it anyway? They're not going to help you get it back. You have to show. It's not about, well, you know, Lord, Savior Jesus Christ, before I die, I have to say I repent of my sins. But you've been living a fake-ass, fraudulent punk lifestyle all your life, afraid to speak truth. So there's a time and place for everything. Doesn't mean if I'm on the job, I'm going to go there, yeah, I'm speaking truth. Them damn Jews. If I know how to fight, I'm not going to throw all the punches in the first round. I've got to be strategic with what I have in my gas tank if I got myself in shape to go the whole 15 rounds, or rather 12 rounds as they have it now. So you have to be shrewd with this thing. But if people come up on my website and get insulted by the way I feel or the things that I say here, there is no script. There's 2 keyboards, a pad, an internet thingy there, phones, headphones, all this stuff, whatever, a couple computers and modules and stuff like that. I don't have no script. I hit the button and had a thought on what I wanted to talk to, and here I am. I ain't like, well, so, or looking at some teleprompter in front of me, and you're staring all unnatural and reading it like a robot. This is human vibration. It's real. It's coming from the heart. And if somebody put a gun in my hand and said, Lance, speak for another 6 hours, I can do it because I can share my thoughts like that. My filters are clean. See, my filters are clean. And on that note, like I said, I'm going to say one more thing, that the website, the shows, it's all going to come from the heart more. So now if you want me to do one with you or have you come on, sure, from the heart, I'm going to always do that. But me feeling as though I have to meter my enthusiasm to every day come with the exact same thing, no. It's going to be coming from me, and it's not always going to be just one style. If Mrs. SCURV makes a nice chocolate cake and the ingredients, I'll put that up. But her own platform is coming soon. It'll be set up before the year's out. And we'll add on to it slowly, slowly. And all I've learned on the internet, she'll get the benefit of. And anybody here who's with me, right? But it's going to be organic. If I might run into somebody outside that has an interesting story and sit down with them and ask them if I can capture that and bring it back. I might have some thoughts of my own. I might go and talk some dictation into my phone and write another article. It's not going to be where every Wednesday at 9 o'clock, you might not be able to be there. Even like with Sister Oyalo, she said, we might do a show, and she said, it might not. It's okay. I'm free flowing. And if later on you can't, fine. I'm here. Every piston firing, doing the most of what I can do with what I have as far as the mental and spiritual resources that I have to create something that will affect other people in a positive way, even if we're talking about a topic that's very uncomfortable. This is not a business where I'm saying, hit the Cash App, hit the Cash App. And mind you, right now, the Cash App is in transition. Do not send any more Cash Apps. Do not. It won't be going to me if you do. Do not. That's some behind the scenes stuff. Patreon, PayPal, cool. I'm setting up another Cash App very soon. And I'm not even saying that to make, because it's not about money. I'm kicking it with y'all. I'm kicking it with y'all. Like I said, the day I was walking down the street, there's a guy who was laying down or sitting down. And obviously he was homeless, because you have that out here too. Not as much, but you have it. And when I looked in his eyes, he looked up, he had locks. And he says, brother, how are you doing? I said, I'm good, brother. How are you? He said, everything's good, man. I was like, whoa. Look how many of us have all the fine raiment and the beautiful house and cars, and we're in good health. Our bodies look good. We got money. We got this social circle. And then we're miserable. And yet this dude didn't even have on shoes. He had on some floppy pants that he got from somewhere, because it was like, if his waistline was 30, them pants had a 45-inch waist. He was holding them up. The locks were a little dirty, man. He was a little sweaty. This African, you don't sweat anyway. I come out the shower, I'm sweating. And the brother was like, man, everything is so good. Everything is good. I'm at peace. Whoa. I had some business to take care of at the airport. And when I got my information, I went to one of the restaurants and got something to eat, real clean, nice, good restaurant. And I was walking back in that direction. I forgot all about him. Now he was sleeping. Yes, so y'all, I'm waiting for that one. He was sleeping. And I walked past him and I said, no. I whipped out some cash. It wasn't $1 million, but it was probably half of what I had. It wasn't a lot. but it was a sacrifice. And the fact that he gave me a lesson in that, not that I needed it, not that I was arrogant and caught up in stuff, but it was so genuine. He was not trying to hustle me for no money. He is truly at peace. So he had his hands up and he was sleeping. I said, my brother, I didn't want to touch him and shock him. You know, you never know a reaction. So I had to take time to wake him up. And he opened his eyes and I stood back a little bit. You know what I mean? Still don't know who we're dealing with. And he looked at me and he smiled. He said, how are you, brother? He says, I remember you. You just walked by not too long ago. I said, yeah, man. I said, your spirit really touched me. He said, yes, I understand. He said, but really, I am at that place right now. And so I said, listen, I want to show you how much I appreciate you. I said, here, take this. He says, brother, while I appreciate it, are you sure? It's not necessary. I'm like a bird. I'm like an animal out here that will be fed. I said, well, even though I'm giving you something that is part of the system, it's really me expressing to you what's in my heart for you. He said, okay, I will accept it on that note. Isn't that something? And I felt good about that. And it's not always money. You just to be there with somebody, to talk with them, they're going through stuff, to be there for them. You know, it's not always money. Dear friend of mine, he might be listening now, I don't know. He had a very, very bad breakup. I won't say his name, you know, because this can happen. It was done wrong. He was hurting. And I often stayed with him. At the time, you know, he was still living with his parents. This is 40-something years ago, right? I was training. I was doing this stuff. It didn't live too far from me. I would leave from my house and say, listen, I'll lay right here on the floor, right where you're staying, right here in the front porch, because that's where he liked to stay, like in his house, not in, his bed. He said, man, you don't want to go any other? I said, no, man, right here, man. I just want to let you know I'm here. We talk, he doze off, I fall asleep. I'm good for sleeping on the floor. I've trained myself. It could be a hard concrete floor. I said, I got to develop the skill just in case. And lay down and put my hands a certain way and relax. I can do that and have a nice sleep, wake up strong. To do that the first few times, you're going to wake up feeling weak because you're tense with that concrete. But those are the things you do. And he thanked me for that. I said, you don't have to thank me. He remembered that. That's what we remember. You know, and I'm going to go after this, but Brother Holla transitioned physically. He ascended. He was already ascending when he was in this realm. He's in a different form right now. He made it. See, a lot of us who transition physically don't necessarily make it on a spiritual level. And we adorn them with all of this praise that they're like almost saint-like. It could have been a bum-ass, hateful, toxic wino who hated you. His funeral comes, he was very passionate. And he loved to partake in strong substances. You know what I mean? We dress it up. Why don't we dress it up now before we leave so you have things to say that are wonderful, right? Why don't we do that now? Why do we have to have a professional writer write our life for us that didn't exist, right? Brandon Walden, welcome. Yes. And Tijuana LaDuff. I didn't, G. Cole. Sometimes the chat room's right in front of me and I'm in the zone just talking. I did not know that this show was going to go that long, but I like these. They're more engaging. I the banners and fancy stuff, I'm way back here, I like to be right up there. It's more enjoyable and it's more intimate, Yeah, I got razor bumps and all that stuff. I need a tooth or two or whatever. I know. I'm human, y'all. And I'm glad to be here. And I love my people. And I love you all. I really do. And what I do is out of sincerity, and I enjoy it. I'm like a little boy. Exactly, Oyala. I got to put that one up. Yes. And the Apple, yes, yours also. How we make people feel. Because after all the money is gone, or fame, or whatever it is we thought we wanted in the world, those are the things that count the most. Those quiet moments of support and love that we show to one another. I am not caught up in this thing. I never really was. I was always one who thought for myself. See? I was always one to lead myself. Yeah, there were times I was influenced sometimes. When you're younger, you don't know and you snap out of it. You're like, okay, nah, this ain't for me. I can't do this. No. But you got a blank page today, the next day. A few hours behind me, it's 7:25 a.m. for me now. And you have an opportunity to write today's story. In that chapter, write the page in the chapter. The chapter is part of the whole book of your life. And all chapters don't have to be the same. They don't. You evolve and you ascend. Carmen Bailey, how are you? Oh, man. I'm going to get ready to go soon. But I'm going to do these things. And what I want you all to do, if you haven't signed up for the mailing list on LANCESCURV.com, I don't bombard everyone with everyday mails. Like, I'm sick of seeing this guy. But the really important ones that I have as far as shows are concerned, or even the written word, because when you get more into writing, I want to be able to email you direct, because if these platforms ever take us down, and all the people that I know here that are part of the family, I got to have a way of getting to you. So the email address definitely has to happen. I don't know if I can pull up another screen here. Okay. And let me check on this other thing. I think it's working on that show. I'm gonna drop the link for the show that we did with Irritated Genie. Yes. It's working. Beautiful. Let me drop this link. It's on Rumble, but it's on the site. For those who missed it, very good show. Oh, Aliala, thank you so much. Thank you. And I will never get tired of you. And I think that photo, because I was down in your face, I was cutting around the edge, where you have your hair pulled back and you show you have a perfect head, face, everything. Got to give credit, but it's the inside. But what a specimen you are. And I'm a creative person. I'm like, this woman is flawless. It's the truth. Look at that last show we did. Look at the banner. Look at the smile. Look at the face. Look at the whole. There's nothing. There's nothing wrong. To me, you are perfection. As so many of our other ascended sisters who know who they are. And there's a certain calm that they have. I love the energy thing. I really do. The energy you have is pristine. And I can't wait for us to do a little thing later on. Right? But let me pull up another screen. I seem to sometimes forget how to do it. I'm going to take this over to the home page. There's more stuff over there. I'm just going to show the folks who don't know, because I have so much jammed up on this website. There's almost 22 years of content. So let me go down and kind of pull this up. Let me kill some of these other screens. I absolutely have too much up here. Okay, that's up. I'll leave that up. Let's see. Okay. Don't want to kill off the wrong thing. Let me go here. Let me go down into, is this present? Is that what they call it now? Not extra camera. Share screen. Okay. Window. Okay, here it is. Okay, here it is. I haven't done this in a while. Let me go back. StreamYard. Okay, how do I show this? Okay, it kind of bugged. Now, can you see the cursor? I have to make this bigger. Let me see. Let's do this. It takes a second. Okay, there's website. And if you can see the cursor, you see the top, not this overlay, but you see LANCESCURV here. And yes, yes, Yapo, yes, yes. Oh my God, yes. Thank you, brother. Thank you so much. You know, because you do the damn thing. Okay, now here, so you put your email address, your name, your email address, and send it in. Subscribe to our mailing list, right? And here it says explore the archives. You click this, there's a drop down that'll say November 2022, September 2022, February 2024, every month. And when I put it up, it didn't correspond with every month, but all the content I did before having actual LANCESCURV.com up. And let me take away this other banner because it's kind of confusing right now. Let me take this away so you can see just that. Okay. Let me go to the actual page. I need to do this every now and then because there are new people who don't know. You know, okay. There's the header up here, up top. And I'm going to push more of the artwork here. But on this side is where you subscribe. So go to LANCESCURV.com. I'll actually come and drop the link there. You must be on this mailing list. You must be on this mailing list. No, I can't drop it right now. Oh, yes, I can. Oh, yes, I can. Here we go. That's the link to the site. You need to be on that just in case they knock us off of social media and we can't be in communication anymore. The important shows. Miko, I keep forgetting that that's your new name. You got to keep reminding me. Bear Sugar. Bear Sugar. Uh-oh. That's a very tempting name. Bear Sugar. Come on, get this Bear Sugar. Yes, indeed. I'm glad to see you here, sweetheart. But let me go back to this so I can end it. I don't want to bore you with a big lesson, but I think there's some more here. On the side here, like it says, explore the archives. Look, there's a drop down, November 2022. Last month, I put up 61 posts. The month before that, and that's those shorts. No, it's not really. It's just shows. But see here, you go back years. 2021, 2020, 2019. 19, 18, 17, come on down, 15, 13, 12, 11. And I got lean in these years down here because the site that I had before, SCURV Originals, it wasn't a blog like this. So a lot of the posts I kind of jumbled up because in one day I put up so many of them when I got the new site in April of 2010, LANCESCURV. But LANCESCURV has all the work from the previous 9 years, okay? So that's why here you'll see one post. I was like, I'm not going that far back to try to be true. I think there was one particular time when I dumped like a couple hundred posts there, but there it is, it drops down. But if you don't know it, you won't see it. So if you want to see some of the stuff from way back, you'd be surprised. Over here it says search our content. You can put a keyword in there. If you remember an article or a video in there, you'll find it here. But here, you can just take your time and look at some of the old content, right? Just showing how to navigate. Not much here. The newest videos will always be on, like, under the slider. Okay, this cursor here is acting up. Like, okay, you see here, Irritated Genie, Positively Angela. The next one will go here, and they push down. And when they push down, if you want to do it the hard way, or the scenic route, it says here, show more. It says show more news, but it really means these videos. You click here, and it brings you back to the previous batch, which my computer's working slow. Where'd it go? Okay, we might have to fix this. Yeah, see here? That's part of the hacking that happened last night, but we're going to fix that today. Let's hit it again. Yeah, that's part of the damage I didn't know. So let's go back. Anyway, the sidebars, everything in the bottom. Explore. You can send me a private message here that nobody sees. And let me come out of this. You pretty much get the gist. But I spend a lot of time on this. Let me get back here now and figure out how to come out of this. me take this out, remove. Well, that's the back end, see? That's the back end you don't want to see. I'm good, Bear Sugar. How are you? Hope all is well. We gotta, catch up and everything. But I did that. We have 55 people here. I would love to stay. It's 2:04. I mean, we've been here for 2 hours and 4 minutes. I did not know it was going to be like that. I want to do more of these, and I want to engage with you. And like I say, when you see some of the articles and stuff on LANCESCURV, leave a comment. It worked, huh? Wow, overnights. Yeah, leave a comment. I'll respond. Let's talk. Let's put it all on the site though, because social media gets your energy, and when they want to shut you down or shut things down, it's gone. Some people say, I could never write a book. But people are arguing, writing all these long paragraphs that if they focused it some kind of creative way, it could be a benefit to themselves, their children, to see what they were thinking, what they do, how they are. What, your joke? Which joke? Remind me. I'll tell you. One of the jokes I always tell, I might have to do it on the next one, but remind me, let me know. I'll give it to you. And I do want to have a joke night where I can kind of get kind of like, not lewd, but yeah, when you're ready, Miko, when you're ready, come on back. Where you been? I know you're busy. And you can do the WhatsApp thing. If anything, you can record it, slide your finger up so your finger is not in one spot. You know that little secret. When you get on the phone and you start talking to you, slide the thing up, the microphone up, and it locks like that. And you can just keep on recording, Long time ago, true story, had a person, they were recording something, and I'll hook up the graphics. You tell me what title, I'll snag a picture, put it up, you know what I mean? And we'll do it. But they started recording on WhatsApp, and it was recording, and they said, Lance, yeah, we miss him, Okay. Oh, my favorite joke? Oh, I got a lot of favorite jokes. But this person was recording the WhatsApp, and they sent me the whole file. But they went to the bathroom and forgot to stop the recording. And when they came out of the bathroom and they saw it recording, they didn't think of nothing. They didn't think of it, right? So here I am. I'll listen to everything again, make sure this sounds right. And give me a second, I got to run to the bathroom. So I'm thinking like, this is a 2.5 hour recording, but they said they're going to the bathroom. Well, what's coming next? Man, it was a musical orchestra. The straining. I was like, felt like telling you need to eat more fruit and vegetables in your diet. Wouldn't be pushing so hard. I heard the splashes. I didn't say anything. I didn't say that to him. Just cut it out, Wow, everybody wants jokes. Well, this we're going to do. This way, I'm not going to put it off. I have to promise you. I won't do the joke thing in the morning. I got to be like at night. It won't be tonight, although I will come on tonight briefly, like 30 minutes or so, because this one a little longer. It's already 7:38. Once the time hits like 1 or 2 here in Ghana, 6 o'clock it is dark. So you better be up early doing what you're doing, Like, I promise you, it's long overdue. I'll be totally uninhibited. I may use some racy language. It will be adult, but I'm going to have y'all laughing. I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't know how I'm going to say it. I'm just going to talk about some old experiences. And once I get into the flow, it's like a Muhammad Ali fight. I don't know how I'm going to do it exactly, but it's going to come out right. I know I'll do the shuffle. I know I'll flurry. I know I'll do something funny and entertaining. And I promise you that. I'll be, a risky. Yeah. I'll tell a fast one, y'all. It's kind of adult. Which one? I'm faster than Google when it comes to my own experiences, right? Here we go. It was a young lady, and she liked me. And I was about maybe 17, 18. Those were some funny years for me. That was the beginning of my learning. And so she was heavy set. Okay. Some of my best experiences have been with heavy-set women at that particular time. I sound like a white dude. All right, some of my best friends are black, right? No, didn't discriminate. It's nothing that, we can't go walking and get ourselves in shape. But she was kind of, heavy around the middle, and it was like a lot of loose flesh. Like she was losing weight. She wasn't like, oh, but she looked good in her clothes. She looked good, but you could tell that she was a little trunk heavy. And she always wore these bras that, she wasn't top heavy, but she had everything from the waist down, but so we're sitting in her living room. And yeah, she was a little older than me. I was always so victimized. I just was so traumatized. And so we were kissing. And so, like most guys, especially that age group, in their foreplay, they grab for a titty. So she opened the shirt and I'm sitting there kissing on her. Had the titty in my hand. But something was wrong. Something was wrong. I had the titty in my hand, her right titty. I'm kissing her, neck, ear, everything. She's loving it. But I'm feeling around for the nipple. And I'm going to say it this way without being lewd. No, I have to say it the raw way. I'm going to use the P-U-S-S-Y word just for effect, y'all. Nipples, in most cases, I call them pussy doorbells. Because if you keep playing around with the nipple, you're going to find out if somebody's home down there. But I'm feeling around for the nipple. I want to ring the bell. I want to ring the bell. Ring her bell, because I wanted to come inside. But I couldn't feel. I'm sitting here like, what the hell is going on? I saw nipples poking through the shirt. Where is it? I want to ring the doorbell. No, it wasn't fake. She grabbed my hand from here and put it up here to a titty. That was a fat roll I was feeling up thinking it was a titty. So she helped to guide me. And like in the song by the Jacksons, let me show you the way to go. Do. I was ringing the doorbell. That was all she wrote. That was a mild one. Excuse me for my French. That was one for the archives. I'll never forget that. As soon as I told my sex, look what pops up. 69XXX fun, please. They ain't more fun than we get that on our comedy nights. Oh, here's another one. Wait, I don't want to make sure to not knock off the wrong one. Like, Lance, why did you block me? Because this stuff is going up. Oh no. Oh no. I blocked Bear Sugar by mistake. How do I undo this? No. Can I go back? Oh, snap. I gotta go back into the actual YouTube, y'all. I gotta end this. See, it scrolls up and you block and you hit the wrong person. It's like a shootout and somebody jumps in front or walking by, boom, and you hit them. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't do that on purpose. Y'all know. And this other one is still here. No, I'm not gonna. Oh, y'all, you have better aim than me. You know what I mean? Like I always say, it's just okay, good. You're back. You brought her back? Oh, I hit her. Okay. I didn't do it on purpose. I guess it's time for me to go. 2 hours and 13 minutes. Yeah. The mods can. Yeah. Thank you. I didn't mean that. Bear Sugar. Yeah. So we'll go. It's just like I always say about men. You know how men miss the toilet bowl when they peeing? They can't get the aim right. They got a toilet bowl with an opening like this. And they always seem to miss. Can't blame it always on being drunk. But do you know what they don't miss in? That little hole that's there that all these men are trying to climb back up into. The only heaven we knew. And they don't miss that one. Anyway, let me run. It's been fun. I'm going to come on for a shorter time later on. Something good is going to happen today for all of us. And keep that in mind. We will have challenges. We will have things that are unpleasant, but it's just an opportunity for growth. And, you know, just be leery on who you share your love with on all levels, because not all of us out here deserve it. Budget it and give it out in a certain budget. Just because people come at you with a smiling face and maybe some of the similar words and know how to reflect to you what you've been saying, and you say, oh, they're just like me, they're deep. You never know. Thank you, Simply Deep. And Giant Gain, oh, he's still here. Thank you. Y'all make me want to stay here for another couple hours, but I got to go. I got to get my cameras together and got to do a few things here. And I'm hungry again. I got to eat, right? But thank you so much. And I will be back. And like I said, I guarantee that. So much love to you all. Peace. Let me put some music on if it works. We'll see. I think I'm going to play that up.